some back and forth between the PDP and the APC. Today, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has accused the People's Democratic Party of sabotaging fuel supply in the country to blackmail the federal government for illicit political advantage. Well, the APC campaign organization had come out to blame the PDP of being behind some of these issues and trying to twist it. They blame also fifth columnists for some of these issues. Let me allow you to look at what the APC said in the statement in which they released. It was released by the Director of Media and Publicity of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Mr. Bayo Ononuga. He said, and I quote, with a header saying, "Fuel and new narrow node scarcity, fifth columnist working in cahoots with PDP." Now, he says, and I quote, "For the record, Asiwaju Tinubu, during the APC campaign rally in Abeokuta on Wednesday, in a statement did not mention blame and accuse President Muhammadu Buhari for the current challenges in the country. Asiwaju Tinubu was only adverting government's attention to the sabotage being carried out by some fifth columnists in the system, possibly working in cahoots with the PDP. PDP and Atiku should remember not to get high on their own smoke. No political blackmail and attempt to create a conflict between Tinubu and his longtime ally, President Muhammadu Buhari, can succeed. We have bad news for Atiku and his handlers. Their latest mischief is therefore doomed to fail." And the spokesperson of the APC, Mr. Festus Keyamo, is not stopping in the lawsuit. He's saying that he will pursue against Atiku Abubakar, seeking the nod of the court to serve the court processes on Atiku Abubakar through substituted means. For those of you who understand this, you will get a perspective. Now he wants to push things and push it further. He's doubling down on this matter. Let's get PDP's reaction. I'm being joined by an advisor on public affairs to Atiku Abubakar, Frank Shoaib, who joins us live here in our studio. Thanks so much, Frank, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sean. How do you do?
And I'd like to ask you, from the language of the APC, the way they crafted their statement today, they said, you and fifth column, you in the sense of your party, the PDP, are the ones behind fuel scarcity. Why would you want to make Nigeria suffer that kind of situation?
You know, Sean, first off, I want to say that maybe there is a transferability of dementia to even the handlers of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because I don't understand what Bayo Ononuga is talking about. Illiteracy, ordinarily, should not be mistaken or should not be taken as a privilege. Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke in the Yoruba language in Abeokuta, the same way he did in June 2022, where he said, Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, after several losses in his electoral conquest, cried on national television, and that even, save for his intervention, President Muhammadu Buhari would not have become president. He returned to Abeokuta yesterday, same location. He extemporaneously spoke in the Yoruba language, not in the English language. But it was not just translated, but transliterated. Copies are there. All the newspapers reported it, television houses reported it, where he said, the powers that be. I don't understand whether maybe Bayo Ononuga went to an evening school, because the powers that be is an idiomatic expression. And it means those in authority over a domain at a particular point in time. The domain in question is called Nigeria. And who is in authority? Who are those in authority over Nigeria at this time? President Muhammadu Buhari and his team of lieutenants. So the question is, these afterthoughts, where they are now recapitulating to say that, oh, this is not what Asiwaju meant, it smacks of wretched illiteracy. Sean, let me tell you something. A situation where, it grieves me exceedingly when at this point in time, Bayo Ononuga will continue to issue statements that will serve as affront on the sensibilities of the people of Nigeria. You can't continue to take Nigerians for a ride. Ashiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to school. You claimed he went to school. The only one you told us is that he wrote, Professor Skiamu, right in this studio, said he wrote exams for primary and secondary school. He did that on your show. He wrote exams from home and all of that. We don't have a problem with that. If INEC does not have a problem with that, we want him in the race so that he can be beaten fair and square. But the issue is this. You cannot keep interpreting what the man says. Even if he speaks in the English language, they'll tell us, no, this is not what he meant. When he says blah, blah, blue, blah, blah, they'll say that's not what he meant. With this one, we know what he meant. Right. He said in clear terms, with profound respect.
No, because I wanted to play for you, so that Nigerians can get perspective.
Please do so. Please
for those who did not watch it, or perhaps did not get a clear perspective on this. So let's watch for a moment and allow Mr. Frank Shoaibu to give his position further on this matter. This is the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, right there in Abeokuta yesterday. Take a listen to him.
Election is a revolution. I'm guaranteeing you one thing. There will be student loan. Nobody will drop out of university because of school fees. I guarantee you that. We are too smart. We are brilliant. We are courageous. We are sharp. We are courageous. We will make 4 years course, 4 years course. You agree? Will you vote? Whether there's fuel or not. And call your sister. This is a superior revolution. And when I tell you, you know what I mean. You know me. You know me. We are going to go there to win.
Well, it hasn't really gotten to the point, the controversial point where the PDP has held on to.
Not just the PDP.
No. It was your party who released the statement almost immediately.
Yes, I did.
And you guys pointed it out. I don't know, my producer didn't quite play it to the very point.
Yeah, but even if they don't even do that show, the parts where Bola Ahmed Tinubu said revolution. Revolution means a forceful takeover. You see, Tinubu cannot be campaigning as if he were in the opposition. Who is he taking power from? He even said yesterday that we are going to take power from them as if Atiku Abubakar were president. And today they issued a statement, fuel scarcity and even the CBN cashless policy is orchestrated by President Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is not in control. You see, the Minister of Petroleum is the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is President Muhammadu Buhari. The CBN governor takes instruction from President Muhammadu Buhari and the government of the APC in Nigeria, the APC-led government. So if a man says, a candidate of a party says he wants, what he is doing is a revolution, the DSS should take note of those kind of comments. Tinubu is not under any, does not have immunity against arrest and interrogation. He cannot begin to talk about revolution 29 days to a presidential election. And in the event of his imminent loss at the presidential election, such a man will not want to concede defeat. And he will create chaos, particularly when he just inaugurated what they call the Jagaban Army, which we raised an alarm some time ago. You see, the issue is this. The man, you see, either amnesia, whether he feels that, Atiku is president, and we concede it to him. He knows in his heart that Atiku will be president. And if he were speaking prophetically, we accept that. But if he were not speaking prophetically, and he was talking based on either amnesia and or mischief, the issue is this.
Frank.
He cannot begin to preach revolution in a country that practices democracy. If he's saying we would seize power from them, we will take power from them, who is the them? The APC. So if he wants to initiate a revolution against the APC government, which is so beautiful. But you see, we are not surprised. In the same Abeokuta, just like I stated earlier, he lambasted President Muhammadu Buhari and announced on national television how he cried like a baby after his electoral defeats. And if not for him, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Muhammadu Buhari would not have been president, forgetting that Nigerians voted for him.
All right. Let me take you to another dimension, because your party came out, the campaign council, that is yourself, Daniel Bwala and Dele Momodu. You had a press conference.
Yes.
And you took up a few issues about Bola Tinubu. And you raised some fundamental issue. But we've not heard your candidate, your presidential candidate, speak about the allegations that the APC and the campaign council of the APC has raised on your candidate about what Michael Achimogu has said, which has made the spokesperson of the APC,
yes,
Festus Keyamo, to go to court.
Yes. You see,
why is it deliberate that he's not spoken about?
No, Sean. You see, we are not touts, and we don't operate like that. Festus Keyamo suffers from what I call publicity neurosis. You cannot be in court and be on TV and be in the newspapers on a daily basis. If you have an order of court for substituted service, either I want to serve Atiku spiritually or otherwise, it's your business. But it's like, in fact, he operates like a man who is winking at a girl in the dark. Nobody is seeing you. Because in this matter, the matter is before a court of competent jurisdiction. We've read that in the papers and we have heard on television. And if it will be subjudicial. You are a law student. It will be sub judice for us to speak on it. So if you are expecting us to come on TV to begin to talk about SPV or no SPV, that would be nonsensical. Even a first-year law student, even a first-year law student knows that. So you won't expect us. But what we have said,
just in a moment,
yes.
Let me put the question.
Go ahead.
Before the case went to court,
yes,
right? You are asking the candidate of the APC to come forward and explain some of the proposals that you raised at that press conference. Before, just in a moment, before Festus went to court, there were issues that he raised.
Yes.
And one would think that your candidate will have responded to them, considering the fact that he's putting himself forward for the service of the people of Nigeria. It should be answerable to the people of Nigeria. Shouldn't he be explaining to Nigerians first and foremost?
Sean, the first question I would ask you is the fact that my candidate and my principal, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has subjected himself and has brought himself even before your own town hall meeting organized by Channels Television. The only presidential candidate in the 2023 race who has refused bluntly, flagrantly, deliberately to subject himself to any form of interview or interrogation is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is a man who wants a job without an interview. So the issue of my candidate coming to explain or speak on the issue, no. You see, when Festus Keyamo, as Minister of State of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is being paid with taxpayers' money, addressed the press conference, he threatened another arm of government and gave them an ultimatum of 72 hours within which to act. Investigation has no lifespan. So if you have given them if you have given them 72-hour ultimatum to act, to investigate my principal, what do you want us to talk about? We give them the room. When he is invited, you will speak to them. We don't need to engage Festus Keyamo. The only thing, you see, ordinarily we have been staying on the issues until the APC stirred the honest nest. We know what the issues are. Nigerians know what the issues are. When the issue of his forfeiture, criminal forfeiture of $60,000 concerning the illicit trade of heroin and cocaine trafficking, involving his friends and colleagues in the United States of America came up. You didn't see us address a world press conference. We won't do that. We left him for Nigerians to judge. But when we discovered, via a copy of the petition written by one Akpara, who was the former managing director of Alpha Beta Consulting, to the EFCC, as it relates to monies and transfers and movement of funds from Alpha Beta Consulting to certain accounts, we chose to investigate it. And we discovered one particular account was of interest to us, Summit Integrated Services Limited, a portfolio company based in a briefcase portfolio company based in the United Kingdom, but owned by an unknown Colombian entrepreneur, himself and his children, as directors. I would say, no, this is interesting and curious. This transaction of over $4 million US dollars took place particularly on the 18th of March 2015, many years after the famous $460,000 forfeiture in the United States of America involving drugs. Now, what was the major interest there? The major interest is simple. Barranquilla in Colombia is notorious of warehousing one of the biggest seaports, which is known for the export of heroin and cocaine. So, another World Press Conference is coming, where we will even show, including but not limited to, Tinubu's trips to Paranquilla to meet his business partners, the hotel he stayed, and so many other things. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. You see, we want Nigerians to know that as recent as 2015, as recent as 2019, he still visits Colombia. We do not want a situation where Nigeria will elect, God forbid, elect a president
Frank,
like Manuel Noriega. You understand?
Frank,
yes.
Let's anchor on this note.
Please go ahead.
The query or the quest of Nigerians
yes.
to wanting an answer or answers to these nagging posers that both your party and the APC have raised is not only against or for your party, it's also both political parties. But APC is not represented here on the program tonight. You are here, and I'd like to anchor. Will or can your candidate answer to Nigerians that is seeking their vote? Michael Achimogu has gone out there and he's made some very fundamental issues that are very indicting about your candidate, and Nigerians will want to know what are the answers coming from your candidate. Do they deserve that honor to get a word from him about that matter?
Yes, Nigerians don't just deserve the honor. My candidate has presented himself to the public for interrogation multiple times and on multiple issues. But when an agency of government, particularly the judiciary, is involved, we are respecters of law and order. We don't travel on seeking
because the issue of SPVs, Frank. Hold on. Just remember, because we're totally out of time.
Hold on.
The issue of SPVs
yes.
and what that Michael Achimogu has raised online
yes.
are very far-reaching indictment.
Yes.
And
to you?
No. For Nigerians who are watching,
yes.
and they will be the judge
yes.
because they will be the one voting.
Fantastic.
Is there any explanation? About
the explanation
on
is
the
simple.
Voice that was heard?
No, with profound respect, the explanation is simple. If this document and this same issue is before a court of competent jurisdiction, as a law student, even a first-year law student understands that it will be sub judice for me to talk about it, for me to even issue any statement here, as it regards to that particular document. So you know this. So you don't push this too far, and you don't even act as if you are a spokesman of the APC, because the issue is they know it, and Keyamo knows. He is only, you see, this is his outdated and mundane tactics of using the media or of bringing anybody to
Frank, we're totally out of time.
Trial.
But unfortunately, we're asking you the questions which we, just a moment, yes. we have the constitutional right to do. Asking you questions for Nigerians to hear, not speaking for anyone.
No,
and I've asked you the right question. But we're totally out of time.
I know, but you see, but before I go, Sean, the one, you see, if they had not gone to court, I would have responded to you. Right. For us, on Paranquilla and his trading in Colombia, with his drug trade in Colombia, we are not before a court.
It's battle.
So it is left for him to respond.
It's your battle against them.
It's left for him to respond. You should
it's for Nigerians to take
You should ask them, because we are not in court.
We are asking the same way we are asking you.
No. And that's our job. So we can't respond. But we are not in court against them on Paranquilla. And that is why, because like now when you hear Parabulu, that is the language of drug merchants in Paranquilla.
You will pay for the extra time you spent tonight on the program, because we're totally out of time. Thank you so much, Frank, for coming tonight.